Hi everyone, Dani here, and welcome to Spenelli Speaks and another Friday Reads. Today's Friday Reads is going to be a little bit shorter just because I didn't get a ton of reading done this week. My husband had a few days off, which meant that I had a few days off, so I was able to do a lot of errands that I needed to get done. I went on this huge scavenger hunt for wrapping paper, which was just ridiculous, but I ended up finding all but one wrapping paper that I wanted. I lead a very weird life. But anywho, I just didn't have a lot of reading done. I did finish an ebook and an audiobook that you can find on my Goodreads, and I did finish Yellow Wife. So if you recall last week, I talked about how I had finished part 1 and 2 of this book. I did finish the third part and then the entirety of the book. And 5 stars, hands down. This is a devastating read. So if you have any like triggers to infant death, violence, this book is just jaw dropping, just deplorable people in this book. We follow Phoebe, who is a slave woman, ends up at this Richmond jail where basically slaves filter in and out, are sold, tortured. It's gruesome. It's gruesome. And Yellow Wife refers to the fact that she becomes the yellow wife of the jailer of this particular jail. Yellow Wife meaning she is a mulatto slave, so she is the daughter of a slave and the master of the previous plantation that she lived on. So what happens in this book is jailers, because their position is not a fanciful position, no self-respecting white woman would marry a person like that. So he then takes on a yellow wife. So he basically finds the whitest slave and basically takes her prisoner for her life and builds a family with her. So it's such a weird, not weird's not even the right word. So many times I asked myself during reading this book, like, what would I have done in that situation? And it's an impossible question. It's an impossible question because this is pure survival. And there's so many instances where I had to pick my jaw up off the floor because there's just so many things that happen in this book. And then you immediately think like, oh my gosh, what would I have done? And you can't even answer it. You can't even answer it because the situation is so ludicrous that you just can't believe that this happened. And yes, this is fiction, but a lot of it's based on events. A lot of it's based on circumstances that did happen. But they're just so ludicrous you can't imagine them. So 5 stars, hands down. If you're willing to take the ride, it's very well written. I think the author did an exceptional job. In the acknowledgments and author's note, you can see they did a lot of research and read a lot of books that are around this same topic. So very well done. 5 stars. And I believe probably the only 5 stars that I had this year. So good way to end the year as we are trickling into December, where I do read a little bit of lighter reads. Speaking of which, I did start the Merriest Misters. Here we follow a married couple, Patrick and Quinn. They are in kind of a slump in their marriage. They've been married for about a year, and Patrick is a bit of a workaholic, and they're kind of missing each other as far as quality time and such. And we find that each chapter will switch between characters. Sometimes it's present time, sometimes it's a memory. But I've only really gotten the first 3 chapters. So nothing too big has happened, but I foresee a lot of kerfuffles happening and may test their marriage, especially that it is around the holidays. So I'm eager to get back into this. And I say eager to get back to it because I spent a lot of time reading Secrets of Nanreath Hall, which is a buddy read I'm reading with Laura over at Book Bubbler. And as you know, if you've been following me, I have been trying to read that book for ages. And I am at the halfway point, and I couldn't be moved to read any further. So I am going to go ahead and DNF that book. And the reason being is, I didn't even get a chance to get back into the Shades of Earl Grey, which I do want to read. And if you're reading something that is literally tearing you away from other things that you would rather be reading, it's probably a clear sign that you should DNF. So I am going to DNF Secrets of Nanreath Hall so that I can finish Misters, so I can finish Shades, so that I can get into all of these other lovely Christmas books that I have. So you will see next week. I hopefully will be able to have finished my Merriest Misters, maybe even Shades of Earl Grey, and started one of these other lovely books. I kind of want to get into this cozy mystery because I'd like to get some of these Christmas books read and reviewed for you so you have some ideas if you're looking for anything in December. But beside that, that's really all that I have for you today. I hope you are reading something fantastic. Let me know in the comments what you're reading. I love recommendations. Hope you're taking care, staying safe, and as always, you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.